Welcome to the second episode in my books to screen series. For this one, I'm cheating again. I'm doing a book that I've already seen the movie for, but I've never read the book. And I've wanted to read the book for a long time because this movie is one of my all-time favorite movies. I watched it at the top of last year, fell in love with it instantly, and that's what kind of re-sparked my love for films and filmmaking in the film world, and that is Little Women. I have never read this book ever in my life. I saw the 2019 version of Little Women and I loved it so much. It's incredible, it's stunning, chef's kiss, and I've been itching to rewatch it, but I told myself the only way I can rewatch it is if I read the book. So I am now 100 pages into Little Women, and it took me a little bit to get into the writing style because this is obviously, is this a modern classic or a classic? Probably a classic. So the writing is different from modern day writing, obviously. In this book, we're following the March sisters. So we have Meg, who's the eldest. We have Jo, who is kind of like the tomboy of the group. She's the writer of the group. We have Beth, who is the kind of sweet, shy one. She loves music. And then Amy, who is more of the eccentric, like, that type of person. She is the baby of the family. And we're just following their life. And their dad is off fighting in the war, so it's just them and their mother. So you're kind of following them through life and their relationship with each other and what they're doing and like getting along in life. And then you meet Lori, who is the neighbor, who is their boy neighbor. Jo meets him first and they kind of form this friendship, and then he gets kind of indicted into the sisterhood and they all kind of become friends with him. So that's kind of where I'm at in the book. I'm really liking it so far. So I am very curious to see what the rest of this book is like, if it's going to make me cry like the movie did or feel things like the movie did. But yeah, let's get back to reading. A week since I've updated you guys, but I have made progress in Little Women. I had to actually switch. Why is this? Hold on. I had to switch to the audiobook because I could not read it physically. I was gonna DNF if I kept reading it physically, but I have been listening to this in the mornings when I'm like doing little chores here and there, and I actually picked it up at work today because I finished my other audiobook and I didn't have time to like look for one, so I just put this one on. And I'm not hating it, but I'm also not loving it. Like, I'm not obsessed with it, which I think I'm just not a classics girly. There is another classic I want to read for another books to screen, but that will be a while because I need a break after reading this. But I am now on part 2, and basically the first part of this book, you're following the March sisters for a straight year. And that way you get to know them, their personalities, their little quirks. You get to know like their family and their family dynamic and their sister dynamic and all that fun. And you get to really know Lori, who is the neighbor boy, who is basic friends with all of them, but basically like best friends with Jo. And then part 2, you skip 3 years ahead of time. So they're now older, and I'm kind of in the first chapter and I'm kind of just figuring out like what's been going on in the past 3 years and like, just all that stuff. So I'm excited to see how each character has grown. Now I think this helps because I have seen the movie before, so I can see certain scenes in my head. I don't want to spoil the book because I don't, in case anyone hasn't seen it. And I want to keep these as spoiler free as possible. So there's that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm hoping to finish this very soon because it is the week that this video is due. So I need to get a move on. But I'm 377 pages in and there is 777. So I have 400 pages left. So we need to get a move on this book. I will catch you guys later. Hello guys, I am here for your final update on Little Women, the book. I finished it today at work, and you know what? I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to when I ended up getting into this book. Like the first 100 pages, I really liked this book because, you know, I was getting into it and all that. And then I kind of hit this slump where I was just kind of like, okay, so I'm just reading about their life, which I knew that going into it, but like, I don't think it really connected with my brain. And I got kind of bored, but switching to the audiobook definitely helped. I really love how we got to see each character grow individually and really got to know their personalities and really follow them throughout young adulthood and the trials and tribulations that comes with being a woman in this era. Sometime in the 1800s. This book takes place. So like, it's very different from what it is today, but it's kind of funny how some things the man expected the woman back then is still expected in today's society. Like some men, not all men, but a lot of men expect women to just do what women did back in the 1800s. And it's like, no, bro, it's 2024. I'm not gonna cook all your meals, clean the house, and take care of your children for you while you go do off God knows what. No. Actually, we're not even gonna get started on that subject. So reading this as a woman in 2024 made me angry. There was a part where Meg was home making jam and she like messed it up and she was having like a full-on mental breakdown. And her husband came home expecting her to be this pretty wife, like being jolly that he's bringing someone home, having to cook for them, and he comes home disappointed because she's not that. And instead of him being like, oh my God, let me see what's wrong, like let me see what I can help her, he's upset at her for not putting on the image that she promised and for not like offering him condolences in his time of like need. Get out of here. And there was another thing. What was the other thing that really ticked me off? Oh, same thing with Meg and her husband, like the same woman, is she's a new mother to twins. First time mom, and she has twins. And the dad is upset because she is not spending any time with him, but he's not also helping her out with the twins. She's having this all on herself and to manage the house and to like figure out how to be a mother for the first time. And also she's still a young woman. She's like in her 20s still. And she's trying to figure life out, and he's like mad at her because she's like not putting effort into him and blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, why don't you pick up a diaper and help her out? Why don't you cook a meal? Why don't you literally do anything except bitch that your wife is not helping? You know what? Putting that past, because I know that's the era this time, like this book was written. Like, I know it was that era. So like, it was for its time, but it's definitely very outdated. And I knew that going into it. So why am I getting so mad? Because it just makes me mad to read what women were expected and still are expected to do. But overall, I didn't hate it. I think I'm gonna give it a 3-star. I think if you're looking for a book that is very character driven and deals with sisterhood and young adulthood, young woman adulthood, finding like their way throughout the world and having like four different sisters, Meg, Jo, Amy, Beth. Yeah, 4 different women and following their life, their individual lives, and kind of getting to know them with like love, heartbreak, loss, laughter, all that. I think you would like this, but just go into it knowing it's very outdated. So there's my thoughts on this. Now let's go to watch the movie, but I'm not gonna say my thoughts and feelings on the movie until after the movie, even though I've already seen it. So I already know what my thoughts are gonna be, but let's go watch it because I'm so excited. Literally so excited to watch this movie. Stop it.
I have been second to Joe my whole life in everything. And I will not be the person you settle for just because you cannot have him. I won't do it.
It's no use, Joe. Joe, we've got to have it out. I have loved you ever since I've known you, Joe. I couldn't help it. And I tried to show him you wouldn't let me, which is fine, but I must make you here now and give me an answer because I cannot go on like this any longer. I gave the billiards, I gave everything you didn't like. I'm happy I did.
I just feel like women, they have minds and they have souls as well as just hearts. And they've got ambition and they've got talent as well as just beauty. And I'm so sick of people saying that love is just all of women's faithful. I'm so sick of it. I'm so lonely.
I love it. It's romantic.
I am here to wrap up this reading vlog and give you guys my final thoughts and feelings of Little Women. So now, having sat with Little Women, I do appreciate it for what it is. Like I said, definitely outdated, but of course it's outdated because this book was written in the 1860s, right? I don't know, very long time ago. So it's gonna be outdated, but I appreciate what the author was trying to do. And also I think if she didn't have Joe have a certain ending, I think it wouldn't have been published just because of the way it was back then. But yeah, I definitely really like Joe. I relate with Joe, but Steph too, because I am that quiet, sweet person. But Joe, I want my independence. I don't want to do what society says women should do. So yeah, I, enjoy it for what it is. The movie, however, spectacular, stunning. If you guys have not seen Greta Gerwig's Little Women, it's the 2019 one, you definitely should. I can really appreciate how she turned this book into the film because I think it takes a special director to do that because this book is so dense. Like, there's a lot that goes on in this book and it's very outdated. So to make it entertaining for the modern day people, I think says a lot about a person. And I really appreciate how she filmed it. Is it was like you would see them present day and then it would flash back to something that correlates with what we saw in the present day, and I really like that a lot. I think the casting was a spectacular job. Like, each actor and actress who was in that movie, it was like that role was made for them. Honestly, like, so incredible. And it's definitely one of my favorite movies. It has been since I saw it last, and it still is, and I recommend anyone to watch it. Just know it is a very long movie. It's like over 2 hours long, but it's good. It's really good. It's beautiful. It'll make you cry, it'll make you laugh, it'll make you feel all the feelings, and yeah, I definitely recommend it. So I think a new thing I'm gonna include in these book to screen adaptations is answer the question, is the book better than the movie? And I think for this one, no. The movie is definitely better than the book, 110%, which is not always the case. It's a very rare case for me. So I'm gonna start asking myself that at the end of these vlogs. But I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog anyways. If you guys have read Little Women, seen Little Women, let me know your thoughts and your feelings. Maybe this motivates you to either read or watch Little Women. I will see you guys very soon. Remember to stay kind to yourself and others around you, and I'll see you next Sunday. Love ya.